Hey guys, how's it going? So, Tim made all those granola bars for breakfast this morning. There was a lot. They're pretty good, so I'm gonna have to make those again. But today we're gonna make a savory dish because I know we've done quite a few sweet dishes. So we're gonna be making patatas bravas, well, a variation of them. I don't really have the right potatoes or some of the ingredients to do them. But essentially it's like a Spanish tapas dish that's usually served in different bars. And it's crispy potatoes with a spicy tomato sauce and a garlic aioli. I don't have a deep fryer. Normally the potatoes are fried, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boil them so they're cooked all the way, and then we'll do a really hard sear in a pan to get the crispiness. But I'll show you the rest of the ingredients, so hold please. All right, so these are the potatoes that I have. Normally I would use like either a russet or like a Yukon Gold, but this is what I've got, and that's what we're doing these times. So we'll probably either halve or quarter them depending on the size. So that's going to be our potatoes for the dish. To make our aioli, which we've made before, but it's going to be the egg yolk, the lemon, I don't have the vegetable oil, I'll grab that, and garlic. And then to make the spicy tomato sauce, I just got some canned tomatoes, some crushed red pepper flake, smoked paprika, cumin, olive oil, garlic, and a shallot. I mean, you can use any onion, and sherry vinegar. So I have water boiling for the potatoes. And then in the meantime, we're going to start making our tomato sauce. So we'll cut up our vegetables for those items. Alright, so our water's boiling, so we're going to go ahead and add our potatoes, and we're going to cook them till they're nice and tender where you can put a fork through them and they're cooked all the way. Alright, so I have our potatoes in there cooking. I ended up cutting up about 3 full shallots, so we have those set aside, and then I'm going to use probably these 2 large ones for the sauce. I'm going to grate those like with our microplane, and then I'll save these other 2 for our aioli of the garlic. Alright, so while our potatoes are cooking, we're going to go ahead and start our spicy tomato sauce. So I have a saucepan heating up. We're going to add a generous amount of olive oil, and then add in our 3 shallots and 3 garlic cloves. Alright, so we have our garlic and shallots cooking down. We just want to get a little bit of translucency. We don't want to brown them. So then what we're going to do next is toast our spices, because this is already starting to look pretty nice. But we're going to add our crushed red pepper flake, and I'm going to add a good amount, but add as much as you'd like because that'll make it spicier. And then our smoked paprika and our cumin. Alright, so I have about a tablespoon of, maybe about a tablespoon and a half of smoked paprika, about a tablespoon of cumin, and then a half teaspoon of the crushed red pepper flakes. So we're going to toast this up just a little bit longer, and then we're going to go ahead and add our can of tomatoes. Alright, we have our can of whole tomatoes added to this. We're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes to help develop the flavor, and then we will blend it in the blender. Alright, so while our tomato sauce is cooking and our potatoes are finishing to cook, we're going to go ahead and make our aioli. So I know I've done a video on this in the past, but I'll just give you guys a refresher. So I took just 1 egg yolk, so we separated the white from that. 3/4 of a cup of a neutral oil. We're going to use vegetable oil. The juice of a lemon. Some raw garlic. It was about 2 small cloves. And then we have our salt all ready to go. So what we're going to do is add our egg yolk, our garlic, and our lemon juice into this bowl, and then we're going to slowly stream in our vegetable oil. Alright, so I'm only going to add half of that lemon to start. It's a very big lemon. So we're going to mix these ingredients, and then first I'm going to take this spoon and add a few droplets of the oil. It's very important that we don't add all the oil at once to this, or it's going to break. If we do it slowly, it's going to help it emulsify. So we'll mix these up and start streaming in our oil. I'll show you guys the progress along the way. Alright, so we have about 1/3 of our oil added in here, so we're going to continue to go. Alright guys, I'm just taking a quick break from the aioli because our potatoes are ready to come off the stove. So we're going to just drain these in a colander in the sink. Yeah, we're just going to let these cool a little bit, and then we'll probably either half or quarter them once they cool down so I don't burn my hands off, and then we're going to continue to make the aioli. Alright, so we just have about 1/3 left of the oil, but see how thick this is getting? I know we've done it before in a video, but in case you haven't seen that. And then we'll just taste it, see if it needs some salt and some more lemon, and then we're all set with our aioli. We'll just put it in the fridge. Alright, so our aioli is all done, nice and thick, just essentially fancy mayonnaise. So I'm going to taste it and add a little bit of salt and lemon if needed. If I need to grate a little bit more garlic in here too, we can, but that's pretty much all set. I didn't add any more lemon juice, but I did go ahead and add another clove of garlic and about half a tablespoon of salt. And I added a splash of sherry vinegar in there because it's me and I like it, but you don't have to do that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is halve up our potatoes. If there are any really large ones like this, we can go ahead and either third or quarter them. Alright, so we have our potatoes all halved up. Before we start to sear these in our pan, which I have all set up, we're just going to sear them in olive oil. We're going to really quickly just blend up our tomato sauce in the blender. First I'm going to taste it and make sure it's spicy enough, and we'll season it as well. Oh boy. So I added about a tablespoon of salt, and then I'm going to add, as you can see, about a half a teaspoon more of crushed red pepper flake, and then I'm going to add a splash of sherry vinegar, and then we're going to go ahead and blend this. Alright, our sauce looks awesome. I just put it back in the saucepan, and now we're just going to turn our pan on, and we're going to crisp up our potatoes, and then we'll be ready to plate. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and sear these on the side that they were cut. That's the type of crispiness you're looking for, so we're just going to go ahead and cook off the rest of these, and we'll plate. Make sure when these come out of the the frying pan, that you just put a little bit of salt on them. Alright, so we have our nice crispy potato, seasoned nice, our aioli over here, and then our nice spicy tomato sauce. We're going to have a lot of this left over. Make something with this, maybe some eggs, I don't know. But we're going to plate this over on our plate here, and the goal is to get the sauce and the aioli on top. It doesn't have to be pretty, but we're going to try our best because, you know, the internet. Alright, so there's our dish. Looks awesome, at least I think. You could certainly garnish this with some parsley or something, but this is meant to be like a bar food. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that recipe. It was very good. Yeah, it's a pretty simple thing to do. Just if you have potatoes and tomatoes, you probably can make that dish at home. It's pretty easy. So I'm not sure I'm going to make tomorrow. I just want, you know, just winging it every day. But thanks so much for watching. Deegan's eating something off the floor, so I gotta go take care of that. But have a good night. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks. See you tomorrow.